Hello? Is there anybody joining me? Let's see if it's gonna work this time. Now we're crooked. Okay, now I see it. Okay, I see a couple people. Hey, Deb. Thanks for joining me. All right, some reason my first feed wasn't actually live. I said it was live, but I wasn't live. Oh, the craziness of it all. All right, we're just gonna do this. I'm just gonna share really quickly with my groups, so bear with me. And I apologize for the delay. It was, like I said, my phone said I was live. Hey, Nance. But it wasn't going through. I wasn't able to find it on my iPad and nobody was joining me. So obviously you guys couldn't find me either. And now I'm over here chatting and I can't concentrate on what I'm doing here. All right, one more share. And groups. Hey, Sue, thank you for sharing. I truly appreciate that. Okay, where's my team? Gotta share it with them. Maybe. Oh, for the love of Pete. Okay, let's... There we go. Okay. All right, we're up and running now. Hey, Sherry. Hi, Aunt. Glad you could make it. And June and Robin. Hey, Donna. All right. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you sharing. Yeah, that was really weird. I was live for like 3 minutes and it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't even feeding. I wasn't even able to find it on my iPad. Strange, strange, strange. Hey, Sherry Baker. Oh, that's fine. I understand. Hey, Kay. Glad to see you join us. All right. Well, we're going to have some stamping fun tonight anyway, in spite of the little weird glitches that we encounter all the time. Tonight we're featuring the Peekaboo Farm. This might be one of those sets that you kind of overlook in the catalog. It's really cute, but it's not bundled with anything, so you might overlook it and not notice it. But super, super cute. So we're going to feature that tonight. Before we do have Prize Patrol, and I do have a couple of things just to kind of review quick. Just want to remind everybody of the Join Plus that's still going on until the end of this month, which is coming to an end very soon. I think next weekend is the end of May. So we do have the Join Plus where you get, instead of $125 worth of product, you get $155 worth of product for $99, free shipping. So joining is always the best deal, but it's especially a good deal now. Hey, Lisa Johnson. Well, wait till tonight. You're going to want it because it's really, really cute. And then, of course, we still have our Connect, Craft, and Collect, where you get the additional $25 in host rewards once your party reaches $250 in purchases. Or if you... Personally, if you have some spare change out there and you want to spend $250, you'll get an additional $25 in free host rewards. And speaking of host rewards, we are using that awesome host reward paper that's in here. This pattern party for our first card tonight. Love this paper. It's awesome. And you can get it free with your host rewards. It's like $18 in host rewards. So really, 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 really cute stuff. Paper Pumpkin, we do have the May 11th through to June 10th. You can get in on Paper Pumpkin. And this is going to coordinate with the Expressions in Ink suite that's in our new catalog. I don't know if you've seen this one, but it is fabulous. And this Paper Pumpkin kit is actually going to kind of coordinate along with it. Just try to find that here. Oh, probably easier if I just look up. Where is it? Maybe it's ink and brush. Oh, I guess I don't know. This one here. This paper and stamp set. It's here towards the beginning, and it is fabulous. I should have marked it, but I didn't. Love this catalog and all the goodies in it. Where did it go? Oh, for the love of Pete. I should have marked it. Ah, right here. Expressions in Ink. It is the artistically inked stamp set. You get the gorgeous paper, the ephemera pack. There's dies, the whole 9 yards. But this kit is going to coordinate. You're going to even get the special box that's all inspired by alcohol ink. So you have until June 10th to get in on that kit, and it's going to be awesome, like I said. Then Stampin' Up! Just released, and you can get this from the Stampin' Up! Website. It's a free digital download. It is United Through Creativity, and it has different sentiments, illustrations that are multicultural in nature, so on and so forth. So it's awesome. Oh, Sherry, you didn't look through the catalog yet? What are you thinking, girl? Well, you'll save money if you don't look in it. I'll just say that. Because it's awesome. But anyways, this is a free digital download. If it's something you're interested in, you just go to the StampinUp.com website and you can download this digital download and create to your heart's content. So, that is that. So, Prize Patrol, let's do that. So, for anyone who shares and comments on tonight's video, and you have until, so even if you're watching the replay, as long as you comment and share, you can be eligible to win this Prize Patrol. So you have until next Sunday when I draw before we go live. So we have a set of the red rhinestones, and we have these fun little adhesive snowflakes. Can't even get those anymore, but with the hot, humid weather we've been having the last few days, I thought we'd cool everybody off with some red rhinestones and some snowflakes. So you can start on your Christmas cards if you'd like. And then for last time we were together, we weren't here last week, but the last time we had the rhinestones. Lisa Johnson and Deborah Ann, you are our winners from that week. So these will be coming to you this week. I will get them out in the mail hopefully tomorrow. Okay, so again, Peekaboo Farm is what we're featuring, and we got some really fun cards with this tonight. I did use the catalog as some of my inspiration, and this is one of the cards we're making. This is the first one. Isn't that stinking cute? The little piggy and the little cow. Love them. So that's card number 1. Card number 2, we're doing one of the ever so popular Slimline cards, and check it out. Sending Hugs. And we have 4 out of the 5 critters on this one. Are they not the sweetest little things? Love them. So yeah, the Slimline cards are becoming quite the hot topic, so thought we would try one out. And then this one, probably my favorite out of all of them because you can play with it. Check it out. Is that not the most fun little card? And it says, life is better with you. And you have the little bird, and then it says, miss you. And then the little ram. Love it. And we have the dies that make this so super easy. And then you can just sit and play. Hey, Skeeter, thanks for joining us. Okay, so that's card number 3. All right, so we're gonna get started because these cards do take a little bit of time. So for the first card, I do have the dies. These are the Picture This dies, and you get 2 dies in this set. You get the circles, like this. And this is the one we're using tonight. You don't see anything but only my arm. I don't know, Sherry. And then here is the rectangles. So you get both of these dies. Okay, good. Thanks, Deb. I don't know, Sherry, why you're only seeing my arm. I don't know. Okay, so we have a Bermuda Bay card base. It's a standard 8.5 by 5.5 card base, scored at 4 1/4. Gonna bring in my bone folder. Just press that out like so. Then I have a scrap of white, and I have a piece of that Designer Series paper. This is that big pack of the Host Reward paper. One side is black and white, the other side has all these beautiful colors. And then I have another piece of Bermuda Bay, and I did cut this 4 inches by 5 1/4. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, and the white all with this die. So I'm going to have a lot of circles going on here, okay? So first I'm going to cut this piece here, okay? And I want to make sure my small circle is up in the top. So I'm going to run this through the Big Boss because it will not fit in the Baby Boss. Just running it through. So I'm just going to save my little Bermuda Bay circles for another day, another project. So I'll just set these aside. So we don't actually need these pieces. But if I need circles later on in Bermuda Bay, I've got plenty. So now I have this, and you can see the stitching. What's nice is it does do stitching on the outside and on the circles that it cuts. I don't know if I can get that in there so you can see. There you go. So you have stitching on both pieces. So whichever you're using, whether it's the negative or the positives, you've got stitching. Okay. Next, I'm going to run it through on my designer paper. So we're going to make sure we get these all cut, just like so. Hey, John. So for the designer paper, I'm keeping out my little circles, and I'm going to set aside my larger ones because I don't need those right now. We can save those for another day, another project. And I don't need this piece, but I'll set it aside because never know, might want to make a card out of that. All right, and now I'm going to cut out my white because I need my white circles. right, and the white, we need the larger circles and not the smaller. So the smallers will get set aside. So now we're done cutting our circles. And again, don't need this right now, but we'll set it aside for maybe another rainy day. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Bermuda Bay piece here, and we're going to add some dimensionals. Looks like my dimensionals. I'm going to need to find another package. We're just going to add our dimensionals. And then we're just going to lay that on the center of our card base, just like you would normally. Okay, so there's that. We're going to set that aside for just a minute. So we have our little circles, we have our larger circles. Then we are going to bring in the hello there. Let's miss you. Still in here. Get that mounted on our block. And we're going to use our Memento Black. Now these two circles are the exact same size. This one's a little bit larger, just so you know that. All the smalls are the exact same size. So set that there. Then we need our little cow. And we're going to stamp him on the larger. And you know what? I'm going to bring in some scrap, so we don't make a mess. So there's our little cow. And he's so cute. Actually, flip him over. He wasn't supposed to have that much hanging on there. His feet are supposed to come off. There we go. All right, there's our cow. And then we need our little pig. Where's he? There's our pig. Okay, and his little paws are gonna hang off too, or hooves. Okay. So there's our little pig. Get this out of the way. Now we need our Stampin' Blends. Let's see, I used, for a cow, cinnamon cider, and I used ivory. Is this the ivory? Yes. And petal pink for his nose. Okay, so we have petal pink for his little nose. We're going to use the light petal pink. Then just a little bit of dark. Blend that out just a little bit. Then we have the light, that's the dark, cinnamon cider. Just feeling around this little area here. And then I did this ear. And his little spot. Take the dark. Right around his little nose. And under his ear. And then blend it out. Hey Victoria, glad you could join us again. Okay, so there's our cute little cow. We're just gonna fill him in now with the ivory. And I did his little horns in the ivory as well as the rest of his little face. He's so cute. And then where you would expect to see some shadows, I just went over it again to add a little bit of highlight. Just like that. And that takes care of him. Then we have our little piggy. We need our petal pink again. So again, the light, we're just gonna go ahead and fill him all in. I just love little piggies. And I'm just going to add some of my dark petal pink around just to add a little extra. Okay, so that's that. Then I'm gonna bring in my liquid glue. And this is where your take a pick tool is gonna be really handy. I'll bring our base back in here. And we're gonna add a little bit of glue. Line them up. They are a little slippery with that liquid glue, but if you hold it in place for just a second, it'll be fine. Okay, little Mr. Piggy. Hello there. I love these little animals too, Nans. I think they're so stinking cute. When I saw this set, it was like one of the first ones up on my must-have list. Okay, so we have all of our stamped in. Now we're going to put our little DSP circles in. Make sure your hearts are going in the right direction when you set it in there. Okay, so we're not done yet. A couple of things we have to do. Keep our glue handy. And we're going to bring back our scrap here. And a little scrap of white here. And I need my little piggy again. And I'm going to just ink up his hooves. Stamp them. Same thing with our cow. Like so. Then I used the light black when I did the original card, but it seemed awfully dark. So I think this time I'm going to use the dark smoky slate. Let's see if that's a little bit less intense. Yeah, I think this is better. And then the one thing, the piggy stayed home, I hate to do is fussy cut, but it was necessary. So we're just gonna cut these cute little hooves out. And then we need a little bit of glue. So this is our little cow hooves. So now he's gripping the frame. I know Robin loves to do this. So this is the perfect card for you, Robin. You can cut little hooves out to your heart's content. Then we need a little piggy hooves. I don't particularly care for it, but sometimes it's necessary for the card. And I'll take one for the card every time. little crazy with the glue there. Let's see if we can. Okay, almost finished with this one. Now we just need some of our opal rounds. Love these things. Put one there. And there. Now that finishes our first card. Hey, Jen. The other die, this for the wheelie card, Lisa, is that the one you're referring to? That's the Give It a Whirl dies that we're going to be using. This one here is called Picture This Dies. These two dies that I'm using tonight are not bundled with any other product. They don't go with anything in particular. So you can match them up with anything that you like. Okay, so that's card number 1, and that's using the Picture This Dies and Peekaboo Farm. Okay, next up. No dies required for this one. This is our Slimline card. So for this one, we start with a Night of Navy card base, and that measures 7 by 8.5, and it's scored at 3.5. Okay, so we're 7 by 8.5, scored at 3.5, and we have our card base. Okay, then I have a piece of Balmy Blue. This measures 8.25 by 3.25. Okay, and then I have a white, basic white. This measures 8 by 3. Okay. So first thing, we need our little stone wall. So you get this little stone wall stamp, and it's got the little divots where the little feet go. So it makes it really easy. So I'm gonna bring in, I'm gonna use, instead of using black ink, we're using basic gray. Slim lines are actually quite fun. They're different and not what you're used to, so it does make it fun. All right, so we're just gonna stamp our stone wall. This is probably a great card to use your Stamparatus with, but I did not pull it out. I apologize if I'm shaking everything, inking up. So then we're just going to line this up. You can see through the stamp, so it's not too bad for lining. But like I said, it's probably even better with the Stamparatus. See, I was a little low this time. But it's not bad. Not bad at all. Again. Okay. So we have our stone wall. Looks like I didn't get them as close as I did the last time, but it'll work. Okay, so we're gonna close that up. Then we need our Memento Black, and we're gonna start with our sheep. And you'll see the little spaces where their little hooves go. So you're just gonna bring her in here, or he, well, she. The whole time I was making this card and coloring her, and all I could think of was Baba Black Sheep. Have you any wool? Then we want our little piggy again. So he comes next. Next up is our little ram. Are these not the cutest little buggers? And then our horse. Horse is gonna run his hoof off though, just a little bit. There we go. There. Yeah, we were not as close and cozy as we were the last time, but that's okay. It's still gonna be cute. All right, so we have all of our little animals here. And I'm going to use, so I'm going to color in my stone wall. I'm using, where is it? Ooh, what do I got here? Gray granite. I gotta find the dark. Okay, so we have light and dark gray granite. So we're starting with the light. I want the brush end. And really all I did was color it in. Actually, let's bring that back because I actually go right off the edge here. Careful around there. And I do one section of the wall at a time. Just because you do want to work with wet ink when you're doing your blending. So we got the dark, and all I'm going to do is just go around some of the stones. Absolutely, Lisa. A kid would love them, I'm sure. And then go to the next section of wall. Like I said, it's nothing too too fancy as far as coloring goes. I'm not being too precise. I'm just making sure that my shading is all on, like my light is coming from one direction. Other than that, no other coloring technique being used here, I guess you could say. It's just throwing the color down. Thanks, Sherry. Okay, and final portion of the wall. And our stones. There. Okay. Now we're going to color in their little hooves. We're going to use the light, soft suede. I started using the dark, but my dark is having some serious issues. Like, I think it's time for a new one. So we're just going to color all those in. And a ram's little antlers, horns, whatever we want to call those things. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to do our little sheep here, and I'm doing him in smoky slate. We need our dark and our light smoky. Is that? Yeah. Okay, so we have dark and light. So we're starting with the light. And we're going to color him in. This one's definitely a little bit more time consuming as far as the coloring goes, but it's really not that bad. Just around his face with the darker. And then right here along the wall in his and then just kind of blend it out. Then I went in, did her face, but I didn't want it this dark. I wanted her face to be a little bit lighter. So that's where I brought in the color lifter and just went around her face a little bit more. And it helped lighten her face out a little bit. Okay, then we need our petal pink again. Start with the light, do our little piggy. Get that dark out again, go around his snout. Blend them out. All right, and then for our little ram here, all I did was I took the light balmy blue and I just kind of went around his white. Like so. And that made him quick and easy. Then for our horse, we need our cinnamon cider, the ivory, ivory and crumb cake. So we did ivory for his little nose here. Then crumb cake, we started with the light. For his mane. Then the dark. And then the cinnamon cider, we want the light. and then dark. And then just blend it out. And then this will finish our coloring. Okay, so that finishes our little horse. So now we can go ahead and attach all of our layers. Okay, come on there. We're just going to layer that onto our balmy blue piece here. And then onto our card base. Then I just took a scrap of Whisper White and my Memento Black ink and Sending Hugs. Just got ink all over that. So flip it over. So we're just going to cut it out anyway. There's our Sending Hugs. And then we're going to take our snips and then all I did was take some actual liquid glue, honestly. I didn't even get crazy here. I didn't add dimension to it or anything. Probably should trim that off just a little bit. There's no science here. It's just scrap that we cut out. Add it to the card. And then to finish this card off, we took some of the holiday rhinestones. Blue. One of the orangey ones and a pool party. And that finishes that card. So that's card 2. Oh, thanks for the hearts, ladies. I do appreciate that. I just think those little critters are so stinking cute. Okay, on to the fun interactive card. This one, your recipient is going to play with forever and ever and ever. They're just going to keep playing. And these dies are the Give It a Whirl dies. And it's a large set of dies. Okay. So here is all the pieces for this die set, okay? So you have this piece that cuts out the front of your card that gives you the notch. Then you have this piece that gives you that. Or instead of doing this wedge, you can do a circle. So things come around through the circle. Or you could do a heart. So that come around in that, or you could do a rectangle shape. Okay. Yes, a business size envelope does work perfectly for these cards. Yep. You don't have to get fancy and you don't have to make an envelope. You can, but you don't have to. Okay, so like I said, lots of dies. Plus they have these little arrows pieces that you can put in here to show your recipient that to spin the card. So all kinds of things. Plus we have some extras. We have clouds, we have stars, we have a banner for a sentiment, we got an extra heart, we got this scalloped stitched circle piece. So a lot of extra pieces in this die set in addition to the mechanics that you need for your card. And this makes the spinner piece. So we're going to be using that. So what I have here is I have an early espresso card base, 8.5 by 5.5. Okay, Robin, have a good night. And we're just going to fold that like we normally would. So this is just the start of a normal card. Okay. Then I have a couple scraps of crumb cake. One is to do our lamb and one is to cut our circle. All right, Nance, have a good night. Then we have our card front, another piece of early espresso that's going to be cut with our die. So that's going to cut our card front. And I cut this a standard card front piece, 5.25 by 4. And it's going to be trimmed down just a little bit more by our die. Okay, because the die is just a little bit more narrow and a shade shorter. So I'm going to cut this out and you'll see how this looks. So that now gives us our card front, okay? And it pokes a little hole there, and you'll see what we do with that. All right, next up I've got our spinner mechanism. So I'm going to cut that out of the scrap of crumb cake. So we're going to run that through. Our big boss is getting a workout today. So now I have my mechanism, and you're going to see there's also a hole in here, and you'll also notice that it embossed these little wedges in here, so that's a perfect, so that you know where to stamp to keep your images, so that they'll show up when you turn your piece. Next thing I have to do, and I should have done probably before I did that, is back to our card front piece. See that little hole right there? There's a little hole in this piece, and you'll see it's in all those other pieces I showed you too. If we wanted to do a circle instead, you would just line those holes up, and that's how you're going to cut your piece. Okay? But we're using this wedge, and we're going to line up that hole before we run it through the big boss. Now you can turn it if you would like your wedge to be off to the side. You can do that. It doesn't have to be straight up and down. You can put it in that position. You can put it in the sideways position. But I'm going to go up and down for my card. But again, you can change that position if you choose. So there's our piece. Okay. That's just trash. You don't need that. Okay. So we are going to take our mechanism here, and we're going to go ahead and start doing our stamping. So we can start with our Miss You. Miss You. And I'm going to use Early Espresso ink. I'm going to make sure I'm inside that wedge. I'm going to turn it. Next wedge is up. And we were doing the ram. Next wedge was the little birdie. Okay. So for the little birdie, I just used the light Night of Navy to just color him in. And then I used the dark crumb cake. And just colored in his little hooves. And his horns. Okay, so that's that. So now we need a brad. So I'm just gonna find a little brad. Probably sufficient. And we're gonna take and line up those holes, like so. Then you have your little piece that goes round and round and round. Okay. So then I did cut a little bit of that designer paper. It is the, I can't remember the name of it now. It's got all the wood pieces in it. Somebody help me. What's the name of this paper? It's under here. Oh, look. Oh, wrong one. It's the other big one. Textures or something here. Hang on a minute. Here it is. In Good Taste. Oof. I think I'd remember that. So this is the In Good Taste paper. And all I did, I didn't get even fancy on putting this in here. Do you see how it kind of comes over? This measures 3.5 by 2 3/4. And instead of getting crazy and trying to cut a perfect little wet, circle piece, I just cut the corner off just like that. Now it's not overhanging and it looks fine. So now we can go ahead and add our adhesive and add that to our card. Just like that. Then we need some dimensionals. It's super easy to make this card. And this die set will work with lots of different sets. You just need semi-smallish images that'll fit in those wedges. And then, like I said, you can go with the little wedge cutout, you can go with the heart cutout, the circle. So much fun. Alright, so now that's going to go onto our card base. And then it just spins round and round. Then I have my scrap. I need my wall. All I did was stamp my wall, stamp our lamb, then I stamped her little hooves and colored her, fussy cut her, and then to make life so much easier, I did that ahead of time. And we have our fussy cut and hey Dawn, our little hooves I cut out. So everything's here. So we're just gonna take, I need to grab some more dimensionals. We are out. I think I have an open package here someplace. I'm just not sure where they are. So we have a package now. Goes in there. Okay, so we're just going to add one more right there. There. Don't lose those. Then we have a little piece of the pale paint here, and we are going to stamp "Life is Better with You." Just like that. So then we're going to take this petal pink piece. Well, I didn't give myself much room on that side, but that's okay. This will just be a little bit shorter. So we're just going to trim it down just a little bit more. Done a better job going straight on here. There we go. A little better. Little glue. And then we need his little hooves to hold the sign. Then, to finish this card off, oops, get all this stuff out of the way. We used more of those opal rounds. Love these. And that finishes card number 3. So that's it. We are done. 3 cards. There's our Slimline, and then we had the Peekaboo cards. Well, thanks, Aunt. I'm glad you like them. Thanks, Sue. So, again, we used the Peekaboo Farm stamp set. We also featured the fun Give It a Whirl dies and the fun Picture This dies. So again, the Picture This has the circles and the rectangles, and then the Give It a Whirl has all those fun pieces, including clouds and stars and extras. So definitely some fun interaction with, especially this one, the Give It a Whirl. Love that. So many things you can do with that one. I'm thinking about the adulting is hard and chocolates and coffees for this one. That one I think is going to be fun. I might have to give that set a try with it. But same thing with these Peekaboo. You're welcome, Sue. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely for your wish list. Gotta have some fun things to put on that. All right, ladies. Well, that's all I have tonight for you, and I appreciate you coming to hang out with me this fine Sunday night. I hope you're enjoying the onset of what appears to be in summer, finally. At least here in New York, we're finally seeing some summer-like weather. Took forever to get here, but we're enjoying it now. So I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you next week. And again, please share the video. And I will put you in the drawing for some fun embellishments. And for you ladies who won this week, congratulations. And those will be coming to you by end of week. So have a great week, guys. Bye.